I needed to get this done and out of the way before I got everything else done today. So this video is brought to you by Bedhead and Pajamas. Deal with it. So it's excerpt number 4 of my unnamed and unfinished novel. And also, I've got a new camera coming! So here is excerpt number 4. Filling Char in on what had happened, Hebron felt more and more annoyed at himself, and determined to prove himself to Tenson. He'd been a constable for a year and a half now, and was agreed by most to be one of the best the city had. And yet, this problem he had would restrict him in the force. A noise came from his badge, interrupting him near the end of his tale. A message was coming in. 2 representatives of the Mages Guild were coming in to talk to him about this imp. Shit! Hebron's curse cut through the air as he got up. Don't worry, Hebron. It'll be fine, Char called after him as he left the cafeteria. He walked down towards the waiting area where the representatives were waiting for him. Luckily, as it turned out, one of the representatives was Max. Max was, if not a friend to Hebron, then at least a close acquaintance. The tall, well-built mage with the short brown hair and cheerful hazel eyes was friendly and engaging, not to mention one of the best mages Hebron knew of. The other mage was quite clearly less friendly than Max. He was much shorter than both of them, and extraordinarily thin. The man was about 2 hours of fasting away from actually being a stick of bamboo. His long grey hair, tied back in a ponytail, coupled with many wrinkles covering his face, gave the appearance of great age, which was, in mages, a sign of great danger, as many from the guild that were of advanced years were very crotchety and irritable, traits that tended to not gel very well with Hebron due to mages' powers, usually ending up with Max or another younger and less restrictive mage finding a way of distracting the older mage to give Hebron the chance to get away. Unlike most mages, he actually carried a staff, though he might actually need it as a walking stick and not as a conduit of magical power, which was usually a sign of a weak mage, Hebron had ascertained. What the mage lacked due to age, he made up for with his eyes, a deep green that wasn't piercing, but was pretty damn close, and gaze that was locked on Hebron's face. Both Max and the older mage wore long sweeping robes of a deep ochre colour. "Hebron!" Max called out. "I should have known." "Mage madness." Hebron nodded professionally. "Maximilian," scolded the old mage, "we are here to talk about that imp, not exchange pleasantries with this riffraff." Hebron was ready to go for the old man, but a look from Max confirmed the course of action he was going to take. He was going to stay put and listen, not rise to the bait. "Indeed we are, Roderick," Max said coolly. "Officer Ormanson, we of the Mages Guild have been led to believe that you have apprehended an imp earlier this morning." Hebron was still fuming slightly at the arrogance of this Odric, but bit back his anger and focused on Max as he said, his eyes glinting red for a second. "Yes, Mage Vadness. That is the truth. What of it?" "It passed through our sector of the city, carrying some sort of object with it, and then we lost track of it when it moved into the Science Foundation's sector. They seem to have found some way of blocking the ways we can track objects and creatures magically, and we found it again when it left their sector, and by the time we had located it again, the object it had been carrying was not in its possession, and the imp itself ran into you at the same instant." "Is the imp still here?" Max inquired. And that is excerpt number 4. Bye.